Good morning. Thank you for being with us on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller. Hayden is off today. Let's go to meteorologist Tracy Bean and Ashley Kane with traffic. Hey, you two.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Was that not just the best?
Oh, he
He
adorable.
loves you, Tracy.
Oh my God.
You could take every dog home.
I would. You know that
They all
whole thing about if you
gravitate
win
to
the lottery, there will be signs. That's my
Yeah.
sign. LA Scrappy's amazing. All right, I got to talk about a little weather here. That's kind of the focus today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We do have some severe weather that is going to be moving into central Arkansas. It's already in the state, really into northwest Arkansas at the moment. So continuing to see that develop and make its way to our area. But as far as this morning, we are seeing a few storms and rain showers here in central Arkansas, but this line was moving more to the northeast, and now that tail of it, again, is making its way down Interstate 40. So right around Clarksville, where we've got some winds there as well, lots of lightning, and here in central Arkansas, not widespread rain and storms, but a few little cells developing, as you can see. So I heard some rain out here in the weather garden about, 30, 45 minutes ago. So you may have a little bit of a wet commute this morning, but this weather impact alert goes through 10 p.m. this evening, and we're going to see periods of heavy rain. Strong to severe storms possible. It is a bit of a low threat, but a little bit of an uptick down to the west and southwest areas for hail and that brief tornado. So stay alert and informed today and be prepared for changes. Download that THV 11 app on your phone and on your smart TV. Again, THV 11 Plus for extended weather coverage. But today we're going to continue to see that those rain showers really pick up in intensity and in duration as we're heading into the afternoon. So stick around with me. Hopefully, Ashley, we're going to get folks through the commute before this really kicks in, but I am more concerned about the commute home this afternoon.
Yeah, Tracy, right now things look good. You know, this is a shot of the river bridge here, I-430. Tracy already had this pulled up, and I thought, you know what, we'll just go ahead and use that. You can kind of see there's a little light in the sky. The sun is it's coming up, and we don't have a lot of volume on the roads, which is pretty typical for a Friday. This is what it looks like right now with our live traffic map, and of course, no issues. We are not seeing anything but green on our roadways, which is great. We'll check it again coming up.
Thank you. This morning, you've likely seen the viral videos of groups confronting suspected child predators. Now, more of those encounters are happening here in Arkansas. But investigators warn these vigilante-style stings can actually hurt real cases. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky asked law enforcement whether these groups are helping or making it worse.
We see these types of groups online. Are they helpful at all to any investigation you may be building?
The general consensus among law enforcement is no. In fact, they actually do more harm than good.
In an effort to act as watchdogs, luring, confronting, and exposing suspected predators online.
The girl you've been talking about too.
Investigators say they've seen an uptick in central Arkansas recently. But what may look like justice on social media can interfere with real police work.
As these groups go and just take it upon themselves to confront this predator, now the opportunity to charge this guy with something maybe is gone forever.
Detective Ayrton Singleton with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says they appreciate that these groups may have good intentions, but there's specific criteria law enforcement must meet to file charges and ultimately secure conviction.
That I have probable cause to even make that arrest, which is hard for me to do with somebody else's evidence, right? If I didn't do some of my own digging into what I've been presented with, that's difficult. And then in the case of like a chat sting, like I said, there's so much criteria we have to follow and show, okay, hey, we mentioned age here, we mentioned age here. They acknowledged we're 12 here.
He adds while these groups focus on exposing potential predators, they may not realize what could already be happening behind the scenes.
We have partners with the FBI, Homeland Security. They're big into the cybercrimes world, and when they investigate somebody, it's a long-term process. They take their time, they build a good case, and what if that's the guy you reeled in as your cyber vigilante target, and now he knows the jig's up, and you've just killed an FBI investigation that maybe took months to build, and you just killed it for your clicks.
I reached out to some of those social media groups, but they stopped responding. Singleton also says these vigilantes, as he calls them, can put people in danger, including the groups themselves.
Anytime you're going to go confront a potential predator, you don't know what kind of mindset they have, and they might get violent with you. We don't want anybody getting hurt. A lot of times we're watching these groups, and they're the ones, like confronting a predator and touching them in ways they shouldn't, or maybe making threats. And so now they're opening themselves up to charges.
The Arkansas Attorney General's office says it works tirelessly to catch predators and hold them accountable, and says these groups can jeopardize criminal prosecutions. Both the AG's office and Singleton say if you have any information, you should contact law enforcement instead. In Little Rock, Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 News.
For months now, Arkansas farmers have been sounding the alarm about mounting financial pressures. And as planting season ramps up, recent drought conditions are already making a tough situation even worse. Agriculture leaders say row crop farmers, especially those growing staples like rice and soybeans, are taking the hardest hit. With little natural rainfall in recent weeks, many rely heavily on irrigation just to get the crops started. And that's driving up costs before a single harvest. Those rising expenses are forcing farmers to make difficult decisions, while businesses that depend on local produce are also watching closely.
Strawberry season feels a little bit slower than recent years. I don't know if that is directly related to the drought. I do know it has something to do with lower temperatures at night. We've had some colder weather later than expected. That affects that pretty impactfully.
Farmers are also watching prices climb. Producers like Barnhill Orchard say years of steady drought have turned irrigation into a necessity and expensive part of preparing for the season. For now, many are holding out hope for rain while doing everything they can to keep their crops alive. There is new federal funding heading to Wynne as the community continues to recover from the EF3 tornado that tore through the city in 2023. FEMA is awarding $5.6 million to Wynne Public Schools to replace building contents, including the library and IT equipment damaged during the storms. The funding is part of a larger disaster recovery effort supporting communities across the region. And a bipartisan effort in Washington could soon change what families using SNAP benefits are allowed to put on the dinner table. Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford is co-leading legislation that would let recipients buy hot rotisserie chicken with their benefits, not just cold items. Supporters say the change is a practical way to give families a fast, affordable source of protein without increasing program costs. Current federal rules block the purchase of most hot foods, even when the nutritional value is the same. If approved, the proposal could make it easier for millions of Americans to get a ready-to-eat, healthy meal. A major change federally could soon affect medical marijuana patients here in Arkansas. The Trump administration is reclassifying some forms of marijuana to a less restrictive category, moving it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. The shift could ease tax burdens on businesses and open the door for more medical research in states like Arkansas that continue operating medical marijuana programs.
It's been a long road during which millions of people have found relief using cannabis, and the federal government has insisted that no such relief happens. And so this is in fact a big step, but it's also only the first step toward moving this to some resolution.
The order does not change how recreational marijuana is classified under federal law, but the administration is planning a hearing this summer to review whether broader changes should be made to marijuana's federal status. New this morning, President Trump is extending the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah as U.S. negotiations with Iran remain stalled nearly 8 weeks into the conflict. The president says he's not rushing a deal, even as tensions arise around the Strait of Hormuz, and both sides trade accusations over who has control of the key waterway. At the same time, Iran is releasing new video of naval activity, while the president says the U.S. maintains full control and warns of continued pressure if talks don't move forward. The war is also drawing political backlash at home, with new polling showing most Americans disapprove of the administration's handling of the conflict and of the economy. That global tension is having a major impact on the pump here at home, but Arkansas drivers are seeing some relief. AAA says the state average is down to $3.57 a gallon, off 7 cents from last week. Texarkana has the highest price, while Northwest Arkansas the lowest. Still, experts warn instability tied to Iran could send those prices right back up. And now let's head back to meteorologist Tracy Bean in the forecast to help you plan your Friday.
Well, I've zoned in here to Northwest Arkansas. That's where we're seeing the bulk of this activity, but you're seeing it to make its way in the tail part anyway, into around Clarksville and making its way to Russellville. So still watching, there's a few strong storms there. Not looking for anything severe at this time, but I also wanted to show you this little outflow boundary there that's continuing to make its way through, and that does extend down into central Arkansas. A few little cells popping up. So you may encounter a bit of rain and a few thunderstorms this morning on your commute in, but most of that should make its way in a little bit later. Lots of clouds out there. It is 69. We've got a little bit of rain, of course, and those winds are picking up just a little bit, around 10 miles per hour. We have seen some gusts from these storms around 50 to 51 miles per hour. That boundary right there will continue to make its way through, and as it clashes with that warm, moist air from the Gulf, continuing to see, again, that trigger a little bit more of that activity. So starting to see, it looks like they just issued something, so we'll have to take a look at that here in just a second. But it is 69. It's issued in the northern tier of the state. I'll keep an eye on that, but again, watching these winds, these are current observations that we've got going right now. But again, making its way down Interstate 40 right now, it looks like most of that more intense activity is still north. So I'm going to take a look at what they just issued and keep you updated on that, but we'll have that full picture for you coming up in my forecast.